We're going to talk about quadratic equations for the next month. That's how much there is to them. Now, how can you identify a quadratic equation immediately? X squared. That's it. Just like when we had 2x minus 4 equals 8. How many solutions did we have for the letter x? One solution. Guess how many solutions there are for this? There's going to be 2. Your largest exponent, in this case is always going to be 2. That's going to tell you how many solutions there are. And we'll get more in depth on the solutions and what we're looking for. But there are, with the quadratic equation, we're going to start with being able just to kind of show a visual picture of what it looks like. So, if I don't have a clue and I don't have a calculator, what I do is I set up a little t-chart. Okay? Start with any number, it doesn't matter really. What numbers would you encourage me to start with? 2. Okay, let's start with 2. So if I put 2 in, y is 4. Let's go 1. Y is 1. Let's go 0. 0. Let's go negative 1. 1. Negative 2. 4. What do you notice about a pattern developing? They're all positive. In this case, yeah, absolutely. What else? I heard, Travis, is that you speaking to yourself? Okay, could you speak to all of us? That'd be awesome. Correct. Now, what Travis is saying is, take a look here. We have 1 and we have a 1. We have a 4 and we have a 4. Guess what if I put negative 3 here? This is 9. What's going to happen when I put 3 up here? It's going to be 9 also. So, do you agree there's a point that's kind of in the middle of all those? This point right here. That point right there is called your vertex. So, if I'm drawing a picture of this, let's use common sense here. Let's try it. Let's graph these. 1, 2, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm approximating. 1, 1, 0, 0. So when I draw this, it's not a V like our absolute values. It's a smile. We call it a smiley face. Vertex. Where's the vertex? It is at 0, 0. But as I look at the picture, it's kind of in the middle. And what we can do is we can draw a vertical line right through the middle. Will it go through the vertex? That line is called your axis of symmetry. All vertical lines, what do their equation look like? X equals. X equals. And in this case, what does x equal? 0. There's your vertex. It goes through your vertex every time. Also, your vertex is in the middle of your XY chart. So if I draw just a picture here, what's my axis of symmetry? Now, it's a vertical line. How do you write the equation for a vertical line? X equals 1. What's your vertex? 1, 3. That's your vertex. So we can find the vertex right away by looking at a picture. Here's the other term, max or min. Is your vertex a maximum or a minimum here? Minimum. What is it here? Maximum. Why? Top or the bottom. Those are important terms. All of them. We're going to use these terms a million times. A million times. You can identify I will call this a smile. All smiles have a minimum vertex or minimum value. What is my minimum value? There's a question. Now I'm using different terms. Minimum value. What's the smallest value? 0 in this case. Your minimum and maximum value is always your y. It's how low or how high you go. What's my maximum value here? 3. That's as high as I go with my y values. That's as high as I go with my picture. So here is your maximum value. Your vertex 1, 3, axis of symmetry. And I write this because you'll see it written on sheets, quizzes. I simplify it to AOS. Okay? And then we have max and min. We will use these a ton. Now, let's identify the different parts of, or what's going to happen when we start making changes to our quadratic equation. Is this a quadratic equation, yes or no? Yes, yes, absolutely. Now, you remember with absolute value, we had this form. And what was this? Right, of your, what's the word? Of your vertex. Because the absolute value had a vertex also. And it was either up, based on this being positive or negative, or down. There was your vertex. How high, how low. And we could move the vertex, and then this was your, kind of your slope, so to speak, up and down. What do you think is going to happen to this? Going down. It's going to be going down is great. Is it going to have a max or a min then? Max. Because what's the shape? It's going to be a frown. So my vertex is at the top. Yeah. Okay, so if you graph that, what's going to be the difference between these two? Well, let's put in 2, 1, 0, -1, -2. We'll put those in again. So 2 squared, opposite of 2 squared is what? Or -4. Opposite of 1 squared, 0. Opposite of 1 squared. Now, here's a little trick that you can start to pick up. See these two start repeating? Where's my vertex in automatically? Right in the middle. What's this one going to be without configuring it or figuring it? It's got to be -4. You're going to have the same top and bottom. All right? So, there's 0, 0 right there. It's easier to draw the axes in. And it's a frown. What's my axis of symmetry here? X equals 0. Axis of symmetry. X equals 0 because all axis of symmetry are what kind of lines? They're all straight, but vertical. Vertical. Where am I losing you? Question.
No, I was just paying attention.
I've never seen that look before. That's awesome. What's my maximum value? 0. Absolutely. Maximum value. Right there. Take a guess what's going to happen with this and with this based on what we kind of discovered with the absolute values. Is this going to get skinnier or fatter? First of all, is this a smile or a frown? Let's start with that. This is a smile. This is considered your A value. It's the number or the coefficient in front of your x squared.
When they're positive numbers, when it says y equals, is it normally going to be like this?
It's always if it's a positive A value. Yes, always. So your A value or the coefficient of x squared tells you if it's smiling or frowning. So you know immediately. Both of these are smiling. So let's take a look. What's going to happen? Those of you who have graphing calculators, type it in. Those of you that don't, got a T-chart to make. Skinnier or fatter? Skinnier. Fatter. Four, that's 1/4, 0. So, do I know what this is since I can figure out that's my vertex? What's this one going to be? 1/4 and 1. So when I graph this one, my vertex is still in the middle at 0, 0, 1, 1/4, 2, 1. So it's a lot fatter. Notice, if I fold it over the axis of symmetry, it'll line up. It'll be exactly the same. It's a reflection. What do you think's going to happen with this? It's going to move. Which way? You think so? Well, what's our choices? It's going to be up or to the right or left, correct? Well, let's find out. Type it in your calculators. It's going to move up. So this is like our K value. Remember the K value with the absolute value? It moved you up and down. So what's it look like? Harrison, you typed it in. I know you did.
It starts up 2 on the y-axis.
Correct. So here's the question. It's the exact same appearance as that parabola, except it's moved or shifted up 2, correct? Question, what's your axis of symmetry? 2.
2, 0.
Axis of symmetry. Come back to your terms over here. X equals 0. Axis of symmetry goes right through the middle. Vertical line. Vertical line. Now you'll be able to answer. What is your vertex?
0.
It's an ordered pair. 0, 2. Is it a minimum or a maximum? Minimum. What is your minimum value? 2. That's as low as you go. That's the lowest point. Lowest Y value. When we talk about max or min, we're talking about how high, how low. I go all the way down to 2 and then I go right back up. Your vertex is you ever run down to the wall and then back? When you're a kid, your parents try to get rid of you and they go, hey, go touch the wall and come back. Or is that just me in my house? Oh, okay. Well, when you run over and you're a kid, you think this is awesome. You touch it and then you go right back, correct? This is like your vertex, going and touching the wall because you turn around and retreat. Go right back where you started. So here I am running. Oh, hit the wall and go. I don't know if that made any sense, but it sounded kind of cool. What's going to happen here? It's going to move down. It's going to be the exact same thing. All right, you ready for the fast vocab test? That's probably not a perfect parabola, but it's quick. What's the axis of symmetry?
0, -2.
X equals 0. Remember, we're talking about a line, so we have to come up with a linear equation. All vertical lines are? Those of you that need a little dance tomorrow night, here it is. X equals X equals. You'll see it today. I got my groove going today, kids. Look out. Okay. That's your axis of symmetry. Jealousy gets you nowhere, Tat. X equals 0. What's your vertex? What's your vertex? 0, -2. Is it a max or a min? Min. What's your minimum value? -2. Done. All right. Here's your first. Oh no. Let's break it down for me now. Is this smiling or frowning?
Smiling.
How do you know it's smiling? +3. Okay. Here's the questions I'm going to ask you. Let's number them. 1, I need to find the vertex. 2, I need to find the axis of symmetry. 3, I need to know if it's a max or a min, and I need to know what that value is. And 4, I gotta see a picture of it. Yeah. Shut her down for a second. We'll come back to it.